friends. Welcome to Morphinominal Monday. I am your host, Daddy Louie. And as we do here on Morphinominal Monday, today and every Morphinominal Monday, we are painting Power Rangers. Heroes of the Grid from Renegade Game Studios. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is great out there in TV land. I am wonderful because I am here with you on this wonderful Monday. And in case you missed it during that little opening there, today we are painting Divatox. So as always, I like to post a poll over on Renegade's Facebook groups. They have two. Well, they have more than two, but two that applies to this particular thing. They have a Power Ranger group, and they have a Renegade Painters group. And I post a poll, usually on Saturdays, give everybody a day or two to vote, and then whoever is the winner is with the miniature that we paint. And this week, the winner was Divatox. Is it Divatox or Divatox? I don't know. Divatox. Divatox sounds great. So that's what we're going to call her until somebody in the chat tells me that is wrong. Divatox. G tells me it's Divatox. All right, that's what we're going with. Divatox. Divatox. All right, enough of me blabbling. Let's go down to the table and take a look at her. Here she is in all of her wonderful glory. She is quite the diva. But I'm bumped. Yeah, so she's a pretty cool model. She has some pretty good colors. She has purple hair, which is sweet. She has this really awesome red cape. She has black spandex boots and gloves, which will be interesting. She has this corset and this skirt, and then she has a really weird, don't understand it, gold mask. She's pretty straightforward. The most complicated part is going to be this part right here of her neck, because there's not a lot of space there between her neck and the back of that cape. So I really need to decide what I want to do first. Okay, I think I'm going to do the skin first. So we're going to do all of the base colors, then get into some shading, and then if we have time, highlighting. That's the way we do. So let's get some paint out. We're going to go with Keslev Flesh. No, we're not. I lied. We're going to go with Cadian Flesh Tone first. Just take her head off. Nope, doesn't go. All right, so these are the two primary skin tones that I like to use for light Caucasian skin. And so we start with Cadian Flesh Tone and then do some highlights in Keslev Flesh. So I'm going to grab my handy-dandy paintbrush. I think I'll go with a number 2 to start with, my Raphael number 2. I have a nice, fresh, wet palette. Cleaned that up like 5 minutes ago because my last painting project used my entire palette. So I usually can get 2 paint projects out of one palette before I've got to change it. And last time that did not work out for me. I'm trying to be more conscious of how much paint I put on my palette, and that does not always work very well for me. So, alright. I've got that Cadian Flesh Tone, and here we go. You saw somebody paint a Raphael model. Who was that? Did they do a good job? Yeah, so she doesn't have a lot of skin, but she does have some skin, so I like painting humans that have skin. I used to be really intimidated by painting skin, to be honest with you, because I used to follow GW's skin painting tutorial by using like a super dark skin tone first and then highlighting it up, and that just didn't work for me. So I skipped a step by, this is kind of like the medium skin tone. They have one that's darker, and their recommendation is that you start with that and then work your way up. And I don't like doing it like that. I like doing it like this. And ever since I switched, I am much more a fan now of painting skin. Model was so tiny. I kid. Alright, I'm probably gonna paint most of her face in skin. I realize she's got a mask on, but painting over this skin. She also has a necklace on that I'm probably gonna cover up as well. Right now I'm just focusing on getting the paint down. Just some skin showing here. You can darken Cadian skin tone or Kislev flesh with a tiny bit of purple or brown, and that should be an okay substitute by mixing. It also depends on what other skin tones you have, if you have any other skin tones. Like I've got different skin tones from different companies. Is there a contrast paint that's good for skin? I don't think so. The ones that they market for skin, I don't think look great at all, to be honest. Nothing that I could really recommend. I put the paint on way too thick on this leg, and it's gonna show. It's unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah, painting this, the back part of this cape here is gonna be difficult. Somebody commented on something I posted on my Facebook page. It's so tiny. I had posted a picture of another project that I had worked on, and in one of the pictures, there was a very noticeable mold line. And they said, surprised you didn't fix that mold line before you painted it. And to be honest with you, I was a little taken back by the comment, just because I was really proud of those miniatures. But I also need to understand that people are going to, people are going to criticize your work. And a lot of the times they don't even mean anything by it. But sometimes you'll notice on my miniatures there's a small mold line there. Here's a small one here. Sorry, I'm chewing on ice. I shouldn't do that on stream. And so sometimes you will notice that on my miniatures. And I will always, if there's a really bad mold line, I will always try and take care of it. But to be honest with you, mold lines don't bother me that much. And I have ruined miniatures before trying to get mold lines off. It's just something I'm not great at. Believe me, I've tried, and I suck at it. So I would rather live with the mold line than ruin the miniature. So that's just me. I know some people will spend hours trying to get mold lines off. That's just, and filing their miniatures down. And if it's, like I said, if it's a really bad one, sure. But, if it's faint, then I don't care. It doesn't bother me. This is Mephiston Red, by the way. I apologize. Using Mephiston Red as my base coat red here. I realized that there is some red on her skirt. I am going to skip that for now and do that after I have done the black behind it. But I need to get the cape because the cape is kind of the next thing in my strategy when painting miniatures, which is to work from the inside out. Or is contrast more for material type of things? Yeah, I mean, contrast, it really depends on the color. Some contrasts are great for a lot of things, a lot of purposes. Like, I don't really like black contrast paint. I've used it, and you guys have seen me use it on stream. I'm not, like, a huge fan of the black, but, like, the yellow is phenomenal, right? So I think it's just, I don't think that there's, the contrast is necessarily just for material. I think it just depends on the contrast paint itself. Because some colors are better than others. Like, I just don't think the flesh tones are great. But, like, the bone color is pretty nice, that works on bones. And it also kind of depends on the model, too. Because models with big surface areas like this, like, if I were to use a red contrast paint on this cape, it would not look good. Because it's going to have very noticeable spotting, where there's just going to be huge pieces of stuff, huge pools of color, and it just wouldn't look right. Very splotchy. But on things like her little skirt here, that would probably look okay. Because there's more grooves for it to flow into, and I don't know. I sound ridiculous right now because I'm not making a lot of sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you. What tools did you use when you tried to remove mold lines? An X-Acto knife and I also have one of these thingies, which is not a knife. I don't even know what they call it. I think they literally call it like a mold line remover or something like that. An angle grinder. Is that what it's called? I'm trying to be careful around the leg here, but really it's not a huge deal. you have a favorite Power Rangers miniature you have painted? My favorite Power Ranger... Oh, that's a loaded question. I really, really enjoyed painting the Dane, as well as the other dog. I can't remember his name. The blue one. He's probably not even a dog. He's probably something. You know, I know you guys know who I'm talking about. The blue dog creature thing. He was an ally pack, I think. I really enjoyed painting those two. Just the, you know, painting like wolf/dog skin, and they're both really cool models. But my favorite, I don't even know why I brought that up, just because I guess they're honorable mentions. My absolute favorite miniature that I've painted for this game, believe it or not, is Alpha 5. The first one. I've not painted the second one that they released. I don't really care for the pose of the second one. But I love just painting that miniature. Was so much fun. There's so much color, and he has so much personality. The model has so much personality. I got to do some cool lighting effects to make it look like his chest. Lightning bolt was actually lighting up, which was a lot of fun to recreate on the miniature. Same thing with the eyes, you know, like the like his eye visor thing. I did like some dots on it to make it look like, you know, it was moving back and forth. It was just a lot of fun. And if I do say so myself, I think it was a pretty good paint job. So yeah, that was my favorite miniature to paint so far. And what's funny about that is it was one of the first miniatures I painted. I've loved many miniatures. I loved Louie Kaboom. Was that his name? Louie Kaboom? The red, white, and blue rocket? Gosh, I'm having a hard time thinking of names. I think that's his name, Louie Kaboom. Did you stream? Yeah, the missile guy, Louie Kaboom. He was a ton of fun to paint too. Him I did paint on stream. Louie Kaboom I did. I did not paint Alpha 5 on stream. Because that was before I started working with Renegade to do these streams. There's a handful of miniatures I painted before I started streaming for Renegade. I did all of the original Mighty Morphin Rangers on my own, including White and Green Tommy. I painted Megazord on my own, Rita, Lord Zed, Pumpkin Rapper, the piggy dude, I can't remember his name. Did I say Megazord? If not, Megazord. Dracon. I'm trying to think. Alpha 5, Bulk and Skull. So I painted a lot before I started working for Renegade, doing these streams. I had a nice little collection of finished miniatures. However, now that you mention it, G, I did not stream Alpha 5, but I do have a video on my YouTube channel of me painting Alpha 5. I just remembered that. So I didn't do it on stream, but if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find that video of me painting Alpha 5. It's not a full video, it's more of a tutorial, so it's broken down into steps on how I did it. I want to say there's another Ranger that I did that for as well, but I can't remember. I definitely did it for Alpha 5. I'm just doing like a simple second base color here. I will do the red on her skirt and on her bosoms in a moment. I just wanted to get that base coat done on the cape. And I don't feel like I've already noticed that I missed a spot here. Did you do Blue Ranger like that? Maybe it was Blue Ranger. Yes, I did do Dragon Shield Jason as well. Pudgy Pig. Yes, that's his name. Daddy Kaboom. Yeah, I loved painting Louie Kaboom. I liked painting Green Psycho Ranger. I mean, all of the Psycho Rangers were fun, but I loved painting Green in particular. I'm going to put her down for a second. I don't want to put her down like that. Sorry, you're just going to have to look at the top of her head real quick. I have a decision to make. Do I do the black with German gray, or do I do the black with black? Okay, you convinced me. German gray it is. I may do something in the final stages to make her gloves and her boots appear to be shiny, the way that they kind of appear. They look like, you know, leather, like really shiny leather to me, looking at the picture. At least the gloves do. I had a hard time finding pictures of her boots for reference. Yeah, shiny like Ard coat. Just to give it a little bit of extra texture and kind of separate the color from the corset and stuff and the skirt. Because I'm using the same color for both. However, you know, they're very clearly different materials on the show. So.
Trust me, I'll let you see. One thing's for sure, I'm helplessly in love. Can't lie about that. But what's the point if I can't give enough? Are you happy? Or are you saying you are for me? Don't need to be that way. If you trust me, I'll let you see.
I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller brush momentarily. Right now I'm just trying to cover a little more surface area to try and get this base color on quicker, but around the details of the other parts. The more that I can be careful while still being efficient, the less I have to clean up. And the less I have to clean up, the quicker we can move on to other parts. So that's why I kind of take my time, but if I screw up, it's okay. No pro painter here. My biggest struggle with these Renegade streams is just is time. You know, I only have 2 hours, and there's always so much more that I want to do to a miniature. To like this cape, if I had an extra hour on the stream, I would layer and blend the heck out of this cape because it's so cool. There's just so much detail, you know, on that cape. It just looks super duper good. Sorry, I'm looking at reference pictures here. Is it red or is it... Here's a good one. Okay, it's red. Oh no. Doesn't mean I want to mix the red. Another thing you could do instead of the Ard coat, which in hindsight I probably should have done, is to paint the gloves and the boots black, and then do all the other black with the German gray. But too late for that now. I mean, it's not too late, but it is too late, because ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, so if you are watching this now and you're going to paint your miniature later, that is 100% what I would do. Is I would paint the gloves and the boots straight black, and then yeah. What are you guys talking about? Oh, you're talking about the RPG. Oh, man. I love the husband-wife conversation there. Yeah, because see, now what I'm going to struggle with is her hand and her corset are the same color now. Because I didn't... Am I going to want to change it now? I'm going to want to change it now. How much time have we spent? Do I have time to change it? That is the question. All right, chat says I should change it. I mean, I have. She has one hand still that I haven't done the. It'll bug you through the rest. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. It is going to drive me crazy because I'm gonna have to do extra steps because see how her hand is sitting on her hip, and because I painted them the same color, I'm gonna have to highlight the crap out of that glove to make it look like it's different pieces. All right, we're changing it. Yeah, I'm changing her leather parts, her gloves and her boots, to be straight black so that there is a difference in tone between the leather and the cloth. Because it's very obvious that her boots and her gloves are leather and the other stuff is not. And this gives me the opportunity to create that contrast, the difference between the two, by using... And this is another reason, ladies and gentlemen, why German gray is so great when painting black. In instances like this, it makes it easy for you to create separation of black colors. And yes, I realize German gray is not black, but darn it, it's so close, it might as well be. What is it with you and having me paint things pink? You always want me to paint things pink. then if I were to paint a Pink Ranger, you'd tell me to paint the Pink Ranger blue. One of these days I'm going to take you seriously and you're going to be like, no, 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 I was kidding. It didn't take as long as I thought it would because I had already had that German gray base color on there. Let's switch to a smaller brush. Let's see, let's go with this one. Let's go back to my German gray. Hey G, was that my bestie in the chat a minute ago? I know you are. I was talking about the other bestie. Hey girl, hey. let's see. I think that that's pretty decent. Decent start there to the base colors. The bestest bestie that ever bested. I concur. I concur. Okay. Now I'm ready to go back to red. Right? Yeah. I'm ready to go back to red. I need more red on my palette. In different rooms watching the same stream, that's dedication. You shunned me because I told you that I like Dirty Dancing. Not because she was my bestest bestie. It was because I told you that I like Dirty Dancing, and that's why you shunned me. And in the same sentence, I said that I didn't like Spaceballs. So it was a double shun. And now I've just announced to the world that I don't like Spaceballs. So now I'm really gonna get it from the chat. And keep in mind, I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan on the planet, and I didn't like Spaceballs. Same red I used on the cape. This is Mephiston red. I'm about to experience the second shunning. Shunning, the shunning part 2. The shunning. The shunning. Oh man, I am getting a shirt that says the Shunninator for G. The Shunninator. Oh, I love it. That's great. The Shunninator. These little square things are arrow things. They look more like arrows. Really easy to paint without getting in between the lines there. If you want to have that separation like that, you just turn your paintbrush sideways. Like this. Watch Spaceballs with me if you want to live. That's great. I also told him I don't like John Wick, but I didn't get shunned for that. Others have shunned me for that. And I said I didn't like Big Trouble in Little China, but he agreed with me on that one. I'm very excited to announce to the chat that I have half a pint of Ben & Jerry's peanut butter ice cream upstairs that I will be eating when I'm done with the stream. I just wanted to let everyone know. I don't know why. Just wanted to let you know. And my Celtics play tonight. Unfortunately, I will probably not be able to watch the entire game because for some reason, now that they are in the conference finals, they play all the games later than normal. So instead of the games starting at 7, the games don't start until 8:30. Which means they don't get over until 11:30. And that is way past my bedtime. Especially on a night when I have to get up and drive to work the next day. If I didn't, then it wouldn't matter. But I do. You guys are funny. that was a little more time consuming than I thought it was going to be. Almost done with the red. And then we will move on. I'll probably do her purple hair and then the gold last. Okay. Now for her hair. Her hair is purple. It's kind of a dark purple. But I don't want it to be too dark. You know what? Before I do her hair, I'm going to start washing everything else. I'm going to use a red wash on the cape because it's so large. And I'm going to use a black wash on everything else. So my red wash is Caroberg Crimson. You know, or should I? Maybe I should use... No, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to use Racklin Flesh Shade. So Racklin Flesh Shade is a red-brown wash, usually used for skin. But in this case, I'm going to use it on everything except for the spandexy stuff. It will give it kind of a dirty tint, but it will darken things the way that I like, and I will be able to still shade everything nicely, or wash everything, I'm sorry, highlight everything nicely. I can't talk. So I'm gonna get my shade brush and do that. You could also use a black wash on the red. I just don't want... I want it to be a nice bright red. I don't want to mute it. So I'm going to use this flesh shade instead, which will still give me a little bit of that red. I was going to use a red wash, but I also need to do the skin and everything, and I'm mostly doing it like this to save time. Because as I have mentioned a few times, I think, in the past, time is valuable on these streams. What's great about a wash, especially when you are, and if you wanted to get this on the black, you could. It really doesn't make a difference. I wasn't going to put a shade on the black anyway. Because there's literally no purpose. Put a black wash on black and it does nothing. Just so you guys know. Because, as I always say, there's no color blacker than black. So putting a black wash on a black paint literally does zero. So that's why I use colors like German gray. Yeah, like what I'm doing right now, putting it on the legs, there's no purpose to it. In fact, it's gonna give the black a little bit of a brown tint, which isn't awesome. But yeah. Yeah, it's possible that that's what her hair is. I was just going to make it a dark purple and then let people decide what they think it looks like. And I just put the wash on her hair. I'm not sure why I did that. Because I was going to paint her hair next, and now I can't because her hair is covered in a wash. Great. Good job, Louie. Also can't do the gold right away. So I guess we're going to have question time. So be thinking of what kind of questions you'd like to ask me while we let this dry. Which is not to say you can't ask me questions any other time. But sometimes it's easy to miss questions when I'm painting in the chat. Checking to see if I got it everywhere. And then I'm gonna try and soak up where it's pooling that I don't want it to pool. I'm okay with it pooling behind the neck because, as I mentioned before, I can't get to all of that. Like, there is some white showing there. God, I can't talk. Showing there that I literally just can't get to. So hopefully when I take a picture, it won't be noticeable. But it's possible that it will be. All right. We are going to let her dry for a moment. All right. Does anyone have any questions, painting related or otherwise? So you still using a black wash or not now? No, I will not use a black wash now. And in hindsight, I probably should have... Gosh. You should do the gold before you do what I just did. That was super silly of me to not do that. I really should... I guess I can switch it back to my face now, huh? I really should have painted the gold before I put the wash on because... Racklin Flesh Shade is a great shade for gold. It makes it nice and warm, like a warm gold. So again, if you're not following along and you're writing down steps to what I'm doing, all the base coats first, all the base colors, including the gold, then put the Recklin Flush shade over everything. The only thing you don't need to paint is her hair. And even then, you probably could. Although I don't know how the Recklin Flush shade would look on the purple. I've never done that before. So I'm not really sure how that would look. I'm noticing that my wet palette does not have a lot of water. And I'm not sure why. Like if you push on the sponge, water does come out, but it's not a ton. I probably should have got it more wet. The paint is already drying in spots. So what you can do, I'll go down to the table and show you, since, you know, we have a few minutes to kill here. Okay. Let's move these paints out of the way. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's my wet palette. This black I put on the palette when we did black, and you can already see, let me focus this here. So you can already see here it's drying, right? It's not coming off. I mean, it's coming off a little, but it shouldn't dry. I mean, it's only been there for a while. So what you can do is, you know, I'm pushing on it over here. See if I can get that in the picture. I'm pushing on it. You can see the water pull up, right? But the way you can tell if your wet palette has enough water is to kind of tilt it a little bit. I'm trying to do this without making a mess. And water should come out on the bottom. And mine is not. Just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to like pour out like Niagara Falls. Just a little bit. So what I do is I have if you can see in this upper window, I have this little bottle of water here. So I will lift it up, and I'm just squirting the water onto the wet palette. And that's probably a lot better. Hopefully it soaks in all over. All right. And then I've got these quarters. I've mentioned it on, actually they're nickels. So this particular wet palette, the paper tends to curl in the corners. So if you put this down, you put these nickels down. You could use something else too. See, now I might have put too much water in it. Gosh, just can't get it right. So how do you say her hair is purple? I thought it was black or brown. The pictures I'm seeing, it looks like it's purple to me. But now everybody is saying that it's more brown and black. So if everybody thinks that I should just paint it brown, I mean, her ponytail is definitely purple. But on this particular model, she has a bun. She doesn't have a ponytail. So, what say you, chat? You guys tell me how you want to see me paint it, and that is how I shall paint it. I mean, I don't want her to be confused with the other crazy chick with the purple hair. Yeah, I'm gonna use a very dark purple to make it look black-ish. Darkest purple I have is Nagrath Night, And that's what I'm going to use. So let's see if the part of her hair is dry enough for me to get started on her hair. Are they from the same show? I thought that one was space and the other one was like Turbo or something like that. Isn't Divatox from Turbo? Or was there like crossover? I can also put a black wash on her hair to darken it. Crossover, yeah. I gotta take her off screen for a minute to get her close to my face. I apologize. I just cannot see her, where her hairline is behind her mask wing things. And I'm also trying to not get purple anywhere that doesn't need to be purple. And I am going to, I have decided that I am going to put a black wash on her hair. Maybe. You could also mix a little bit of black in with this Nagroth Night to make it darker and less purpley. I kind of like it purple, if I'm being honest. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna start working on the gold in the places that I can. Again, while it dries. And we're going to go to that gold. That gold that we like to gold so much. And that gold is Retributor Armor. My go-to gold. Since we were talking of the model not having a ponytail like in the show, could you add a ponytail with purple yam fibers or something? Oh, yarn fibers. To the model after the model is painted, sort of like you can decorate the base. Yeah, green stuff I think would be easier if you're not horrible at sculpting. I am not great with green stuff the way some people are. I mean, I can use it to fill gaps. I've used it to fill gaps before. Very basic stuff. I don't know if I could sculpt it into something that I wanted to sculpt it into. But you could certainly try. I don't know about yarn. I think that would look too out of place personally, just because yarn is a very noticeable fabric, and this is painted plastic. But you could certainly give it a go and see what happens. I may need to use a smaller brush than this. Yeah, for that mask, I sure as heck do. Probably for all of this gold, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna need a smaller brush. Or her strap on her chest gold. Yes, so the straps, that's how I'm painting them anyway. So the straps that go from her bra thing up into her cape, I'm painting gold. Around is gold, and then the laces on her corset are gold. Her necklace is gold, and then her shoulder pads are gold. That's how I'm painting it. I'm going to take her off this base thing. Painting Ranger models on these bases is so hard because I'm so close to the camera. Because the figures are so large compared to, like, other figures. This week on my show, It's So Tiny, I am painting large figures as well. And I need to think about how I want to do that in advance. Because I am painting Transformers. And they are quite large. Didn't I just say I was going to change freaking paintbrushes? Do you think I did it? The answer is no. I'm wanting to get into painting miniatures. Any tips and recommendation on starter kits? I sure as heck do. Give me 1 second and I will show you one. Because I have one right here. Because I'm actually going to be making that a Tuesday tip over on my channel. For those of you who don't know, I have my own Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as my own streaming show called It's So Tiny, where I paint miniatures that are not necessarily Power Rangers, just fun miniatures that I enjoy painting. So far, I've painted He-Man, Boba Fett, Ninja Turtles. This week, I am painting Transformers. I actually have a poll up on my Facebook and Instagram right now on which Transformer I should paint this week. So go check those out. On Facebook, I'm at It's So Tiny. ITSSOTINY. And what was the other thing? Also that on TikTok as well. And then on Instagram, at the real Daddy Louie. And again, I do a tip every Tuesday in the form of a 60-second video on just how to improve and do different things. What else do I do on there? I post all my pictures of what I'm painting and what I have painted. Yeah, it's just a rockin' good time. So please go check that out. But to answer your question, yes, I have a recommendation on a starter kit, which I will show you in just a moment. It is, in my opinion, the best for the money starter kit on the market to get started with miniature painting. My YouTube page is youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. That is where I post all my YouTube videos. And that is also my Twitch. Twitch.tv/Circle of Nerds. And I do a show over there every Thursday at what time? I'm drawing a blank right now. 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we just paint fun stuff. Different things. So if you want to see me paint Power Rangers this week, go check that out. I'm sorry. Transformers. I'm painting Power Rangers right now. It's been a long day, guys. Obviously, I've gotten gold where I don't want it on the red, so I'm going to have to brighten that up, but I was going to do that anyway. Whew. Those little corset straps, those are quite small. What else is gold? Oh yeah, her mask. Once I get done with the gold, I'll show that starter kit. Sorry. I'm just in a zone with a color, and I don't want the color to dry up. Or golds do tend to, or metallics tend to separate really bad on a wet palette. So if you don't use them quickly on a wet palette, then they end up separating. Because those who don't know, metallic paints actually have flakes of stuff in them to make them shiny. under her eye right there is not painted gold. I knew that. So don't do what I did, kids. That's an easy fix, though. Let's grab some more of my skin tone here. And while I have the skin tone, I'm going to go ahead and brighten up the skin tone that we put that flesh on. Just avoiding the recesses, trying to get the most prominent parts of the miniature here. I'm not super worried about, like, her neck. Think about where the light is coming. So like here on the top of her head, you know, there's nothing blocking that. The side of her face, her cheek here where I got gold. And I'm now going to struggle to cover up the gold. Not really here underneath her arm, but obviously her legs. She has a lot of eye makeup on. Holy moly. Looking at reference pictures. She likes her mascara for sure. grabbing some red, fix up some of the spots I see. Okay. We're rocking now. We're in a good spot. All right. So I'm going to do our eyes next. In one moment. I keep seeing things that I screwed up on. I keep hitting the mic. I apologize. Oh, don't forget the starter kit. Yes, thank you. All right. Let's take a break to do that. And then we will work on our eyes. All right, so, in my opinion, and I apologize in advance to Renegade because they don't have a starter kit for me to show from them. Oh my gosh, where is it? Oh, it's right here. So in my opinion, currently on the market, the best starter kit is around $20 US dollars. 25 dependent on how long it's been out. You know, some of them are a little more expensive just because they're harder to find. And that is... Sorry, I'm going to have to switch to my face. I apologize. Nope, not that one. There we go. Haha, hello. So it's this bad boy right here. So this is by a company called WizKids. They make miniatures for D&D, Pathfinder, Transformers, which is what I'm painting on my stream this week. Haha, little plug there. And what's great about these is, like I said, $20. You get a miniature to practice on, and it's a pretty large miniature, so about the same scale as Power Rangers, maybe even a little bigger. And included in this box is the miniature, 12 paints, and they're from Vallejo, which is arguably one of the top brands of paint. So it's not like a cheap brand of paint, you know what I mean? You're getting 12 colors of Vallejo. You're also getting 2 brushes and a water pot. So I haven't actually opened this. I plan on doing that, like I said, in one of my Tuesday tips, but I'll show you. It's not a full paint pot. Like, you don't get 12 of these, right? You get 12 of these. But if you conserve your paint the way that I do, these will last you months, if not longer. And you get to try out all these different colors, right? So this particular one, and each one comes with different colors and a different miniature. So there's like 4 or 5 of these kits currently out, and they keep making more. This just happens to be the one I got. I got this on Amazon for 19 bucks. and it was free shipping. And it comes with 2 brushes, a paint pot, or a water pot, and here are the colors that this one comes with. Heavy red, beastie brown, that one's hard to see, hex lichen, which is purple, parasite brown, refractive green, black red, vermilion, dark sea green, light flesh, dark green, or black green, park green, and black. So this one has a lot of greens in it because they gave you like this toad guy. But for $20, you get 12 Vallejo paints and 2 brushes, and these are nice looking brushes. I'll have to put them through the Daddy Louie test. And you can even use this tray. It even has these slots in the tray for you to use as a dry palette, right? So if you don't have a wet palette yet, and you get all these colors, and you get this super cool toad dude, who you could totally use as a Heroes of the Grid monster. Or if you're playing the RPG and you need homebrew monsters, make a frog guy. And there you go. You have a miniature to represent him. Because tell me that doesn't look like a monster that you would see on Power Rangers. It totally does. Does it say on the box what colors it comes with? Yes, it does. I will show that in a moment. Just putting this back up. So you can see there the colors that it comes with. And everything else that comes with it. See, miniature, 12 colors, 2 brushes, and a water pot. $20. I would dare you to find me something in that price range that comes with 12 different colors from a top tier paint company. Because if you can find it, let me know so I can tell people to go get it. All right, back to Divatox, because we are running out of time. And see, this is one of those things like I would love. Oh, you can't see my face. Oh, you can see my face, not the thing. And what was the brand? The brand is WizKids. Yeah, WizKids. WizKids Vallejo. This is called a paint night kit. I think it's probably meant for stores to buy a bunch of these and then charge people $20 to come in and learn how to paint. That's probably what it's designed for. So see, now here, look at how uninteresting the back of her cape looks because we don't have time to finish it, unfortunately. So let's work on her eyes. So like I said a minute ago, she has very dark mascara. So we are going to paint her eyes black first. We do that anyway, but we also have to give her lipstick because she has very red lipstick. I made this eye a little bit too big. Another thing that's cool about, not to keep plugging my my show, but one thing that's cool about It's So Tiny is I don't have a cutoff time on my stream, so I get much more detailed with the miniatures that I'm painting, and I show off layering and just a little slightly more advanced techniques. Nothing too advanced, but if you want to work on some more advanced techniques, I would call them more like intermediate techniques than advanced. Definitely come check that out. I'm just waiting for the black to dry on the eyes so that I can I'm just lightening these up. They were very darkened down by the wash. It's a really good deal. Yeah, it is. It's a great deal. Because it's literally everything you need to start. Like, you don't have to buy anything else. You just buy that and you're ready to go. We should all petition for Renegade to make something like that. They could totally do it with, like, a putty patroller. Or probably even better would be, like, a Tengu warrior. Since there's more detail and more color than a putty. I need some white. I'll throw in gray for our whites. I just need a little bit for the eyes. Don't need a ton on my palette. Yeah, I wish I could offer my own paint colors. That'd be great. I'm probably not going to draw pupils because their eyes are very tiny because of the mask. So I'm just going to leave it the black with the white. I think it looks just fine. If you wanted to be ambitious, I mean, I guess I could try. Why not? I only need like a dot. can't really see it, but I promise they're there. Yeah, the RPG minis would be perfect for it. You wouldn't even have to do Heroes of the Grid minis. Like a monster kit. Like, literally, they could make a monster specifically for the game, have it come with stats in the starter kit, and then also have the paints and stuff in it. So, like, in order for you to get that monster, you have to buy that kit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get some corn red for her lipstick. Just got some in her hair. Trying to make her not look like the Joker. She has a weird mouth. This mini has a weird mouth. Does she have a scar on her face? Is that why she wears the mask? Like a Phantom of the Opera kind of thing? She just has a weird mouth. Like, I'm struggling to paint this mouth. She looks like the Joker. Look at the mouth. Oh, man. Less is more, my friends. Less is more. And now you can see why less is more. Because now I've jacked it up. I'm going to focus on the front of the cape here, since I don't have time to do the back. And people are going to see the front and not the back, because I'm not going to show them the back yet until I've had time to do it. I am going to fix the mouth, by the way. I'm letting it dry. I'm not going to leave it like that. If you guys ever want to see a stream of just me taking miniatures that I've already painted, but I haven't detailed yet, let me know. Because I'd love to revisit some of the miniatures that I've painted here on stream but never got to finish due to time. And just go through and detail the heck out of them. I would love to do that. Did I know she lives on a submarine? No. So I'm grabbing some flesh tone, not flesh, to try and fix that mouth. Yeah, I could definitely see it being a defect. Her mouth is very strange. Color should we paint her base? I don't really want to do black because her boots are black. Normally, that's kind of my go-to, is just a black base. have a sea blue. What is a sea blue? Let's see. Let's take a gander. What color is sea blue? I've got like sky blue, faded ultramarine. Or dark gray blue. I don't know. I'm not doing it pink. This sky blue. Like a dark blue. So how about this dark gray blue? Let's give it a go. That way I can try my my Pro Acryls. I didn't use Pro Acryl this model at all. So again, if I had more time, which I know I keep saying that, if I had more time, I would highlight all of that red to really make it pop. I would do something about her face, because I don't know what the heck to do with her face. It is just strange. Her smile is strange, and there's really not much that I can do to fix it, unfortunately. It's just a weird face. It must be a defect. I think I might have made it okay. Much better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. That is, that's a tough mouth to do. All right. Somebody said Caribbean blue. I'm overthinking it. It's just the base. We gotta do this quick. Okay. Boo. Yeah, this is kind of the color of my chair-ish. Captain America chair. I love Captain America. He's so cool. do have a contrast blue. Do I? I do. Contrast Telesar blue. The problem with using contrast on a flat surface like this is I see, because she's a pirate. She lives in a yellow submarine. That's why you guys said blue. It makes sense. The sea often pools. I have a water effect too that I see. Again, if I had time, I could make her whole base look like water. It's like this water effect stuff. So you paint it whatever color you want. So in this case, we want it to look like water. So we would paint it blue, whatever blue we want. We'd actually probably do more of like a green blue. And then you take the stuff that I have and you put it where you want it. So the problem is you kind of have to let stuff sit and dry overnight. So doing it on stream would be impossible because, well, it wouldn't be impossible. It'd basically be the last step that you do, and then you just have to show it off like the next day or 2 days later, because it does take 24 hours to cure. Sometimes less, depending on depending on how thick you lay it on. Tuesday tip video. Yeah, I could do that. I could turn it into a Tuesday tip video, and I'll even use her. So as I finish this off, I have to do my outros and start wrapping stuff up. As I have mentioned a few times, I'm Daddy Louie. I'm a proud member of the Circle of Nerds. You can find all of my content all over the internet. My Facebook and my TikTok are at It's So Tiny, ITSSOTINY. On Instagram, it's at The Real Daddy Louie, REAL. LOUIE is Louie. My YouTube, I have YouTube videos about painting, tips, and even how-tos on some Power Ranger stuff. That is youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Go and subscribe for all the content. And every Thursday, I have my own streaming show on twitch.tv/Circle of Nerds. Go follow so you get notified when I go live. That is my own painting show where I paint all kinds of stuff. Last week we painted Ninja Turtles. This week we're painting Transformers. Yeah, so that looks like a cool blue. Pretty close to my thing. And there she is in her semi-final stage. Divatox. Not too bad. Not too shabby. All right. Thank you, as always, to Renegade for having me on the stream, letting me do this. Without Renegade, there'd still be a Daddy Louie. My mom still had me, so I would still exist. But definitely, definitely helps make me who I am today. So I really appreciate Renegade for letting me do that and trusting me to entertain you guys for a few hours. We will be back. When will we be back? The 6th, June 6th. We will be here painting, I don't know. Check out the Facebook groups for the next thing. You know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm distracted now by this base because it's not drying. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm going to let you go. I love you. Thank you for watching. Check out all my stuff. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Take care of others. Paint your miniatures. Play your games. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And let's roll that outro.